I'm going to start at the beginning in the sense that this is the first poem in the book, and also in the sense that this is a foundational story. This first poem is about one of those first early stories. In this case, it's a poem that thinks a little bit about the great Hindu epic poem, the Ramayana, which some of you will know is about not just its namesake, Lord Ram, but also his wife, Sita. In the course of a very long poem, Sita is carried away by a demon. On looking at myself in the mirror, or rereading Valmiki's Ramayana, anyone can disappear across the black water. Every girl can be taught. Her middle name is shame. When will I burn the urge for purity? My bones are a furnace. My face is a game. Every girl steals away with a demon at some point. All her alphabets, ankle bells, all her braids. She will meet herself in the third person. She will lie with her fear. She will dress in her rage. The world is curdled with husbands, blue as the gods, gentle as flame. Hotline. I have been trained. So when she says, I watched my father smash my mother's forehead with a wooden broom handle, I show no sign of shock. The poet liked to say, you shouldn't borrow sorrow. Write real things, dishpans, porch screens, broom handles. Give me a humble trash bag. For years, this face I trained my mind to unsee. Cheek eaten away by fish. Girl body washed up in the canal, wrapped, the brand identified as glad. No scars, birthmarks, clothes, jewelry. 5'2", 133 precisely. My own height and weight. Police were saying, was she sure it was a broom handle? Metal or wooden, we need the details right. How could a wooden handle do all that? The poet suggests, make it a skillet. I'd believe he killed her with a skillet, if you must. On the page, I describe lilies wilting in a vase because I have been trained, because you have been trained. Can you believe? 6 glistening stamens, smashed rust velvet anthers. The center section of this book is a long poem in many sections. I think there are 15 or so sections. And it tells the story of a friendship, 2 friends, one of whom is facing cancer treatments. But it's really sort of a love letter to long friendships and to the conversation, to the way that we care for each other and maybe even save each other by speaking and listening. It's the title poem called Women in the Waiting Room. I'll just read the very first section. Women in the waiting room wear turquoise headscarves, jade shawls, lemon yellow teas. Ongoing, their commitment to the flourishing world. The hair goes, the breasts go, the ovaries, gone, the uterus and fallopian tubes. This is the waiting room of philosophers, straightening lilac wraps, discerning where the self resides, without nipples or brows or two arms likely to be the same width. Once, I was caught shoplifting teal eyeshadow. Waiting at the station for my father, I was told that in some countries, my hand would be cut off for what I'd done. There was no imagining, blind shock, blind ache, but I understood the shame of being punished that way, as if my pride depended on remaining whole. My father was so angry he didn't speak for weeks. So I learned the part of me that can't survive without his voice. You, my friend, who have loved me, when I couldn't do that work myself, are being wheeled away. I cling to your hand, then the bed rail, then stand in the fluorescent hall, while in your light blue gown, you go. One from towards the end of the book, being that it's spring and flowers are out. I can find it here. This is a poem that takes its title from a line of Sappho. It's called The One with Violets in Her Lap. Flower that can hardly whisper. The prettiest thing about a girl is her silence. A line broken centuries ago. Scrap of verse, of girl. Such loveliness, broken again in time. Imagine a corsage, a cloche, a petal pinned to her shoulder under the chandelier. Imagine an empty garden. Dirt and silence are what it takes to grow a girl so quiet she can be written down alive. A vase of what happened to the one with violets in her lap. What survives, survives as fragment. I'll finish with a last poem. It's called Let Me Be as the River. Nothing but motion, muck-mouthed, mud-hearted, brackish, all dirty at the lip, with rise and fall that exposes hull-gouging stones. No curiosity about source, no knowledge of destination, just willingness to bear anything right to the end. Silver as fish skin, 1 hour wrinkled, 2 hours smooth, duck-fouled, trash-choked, silent, then gossiping under a full red moon. Let me be dredged when the leggy girls go missing, used for a slow cruise, churned for speed, reeking of the unseen ocean, or veiled in the scent of pine trees, a fog in the head, then clear as the tip of a pin. Enough beauty to draw blood, enough anger to strip the banks, enough fullness to carry the pleasure boats high. Thank you.